Paranormal, where we keep an eye
on the paranormal.
I'm Osvaldo Luna, but you can call me Wall.
And I'm Todd DeFranzo, and you can call me T.
Today's show is on two parts, titled Eye on EVPs. Now, EVPs have gotten a lot of attention lately.
They sure have, and I think the reason why that is, Wall, is because they're one of the best evidence you're going to get.
Yeah. On our own investigations on the Las Vegas I have my own group, the Las Vegas Paranormal Authority, which I'm the founder, and T is the lead investigator.
You know it.
Now, because of TV, radio, books, and internet, I mean, this is one of the best evidence you always catch, right?
That's right. Anytime you go onto the internet, you put in paranormal investigation, or you watch any kind of paranormal investigation on TV, or if you hear anything on the radio, you're going to hear one of the most popular evidences that people can get, and that's EVPs.
EVPs, yeah.
That's right.
So, a lot of people don't really understand what EVP stands for, the electronic voice phenomenon, but there's, that's the definition, is that correct?
That's right. That's what it stands for, and what it means is you're capturing sounds or voices electronically. You're not hearing them audibly, which would be called a disembodied voice. So if you hear a voice and you record it, that's considered a disembodied voice. But if you record something you did not hear, that's an electronic voice phenomenon.
A lot of people get these two, mixed up all the time.
Very easy mistake.
So I'm glad we clarified it.
That's right. That's why they're tuning in to watch us, right? Well, they've
That's
already
right.
learned something.
That's right.
30 seconds.
So we're going to give you a little bit of history also, but EVPs did not start in the 1980s or 90s. Okay, it started way back with 1920s with Thomas A. Edison, who believed you could communicate with the dead.
Okay, wait a minute. Thomas A. Edison, the guy that created the phonograph, the motion picture camera, and of course the light bulb?
I guess he was also trying to, create something else called the psychic telephone, but of course he never finished it because he died.
Well, that's a shame, because from what I know, there was no machine left behind and there were no plans on how to make one. That's an unfortunate thing.
Yep, so the dream died.
But
many people throughout history don't hear about these guys. So in 1939, there was an American photographer.
That's right. His name was Attila von Zaloway. Like Wally said, an American photographer. And now he said he could hear voices that others couldn't. He considered himself a medium. Now, he decided, let's go out and let's record voices of the dead, because he liked to photograph ghosts, etc. So he wanted to supplement that photography with voices. So he started using a 78 RPM Pac Bell phonograph record cutter to capture these voices. That's right.
They're huge.
And in fact, he's credited as one of the first people to actually capture an EVP. Now, he wasn't getting the kind of success that he had hoped for. So in the 50s, he teamed up with some other researchers. One of them was named Raymond Bayless. Now, together, they created their own device. And what it was kind of like a box cabinet. And inside, they had a microphone, and that was attached to an amplifier. It was attached to a tape recorder, and inside there, he would start to ask voices. Now, what was amazing is after the amazing part was capturing the voices, but what was even more amazing is when nobody was in that box asking questions, they were still picking up.
They're still picking
voices.
up. It's amazing. Matter of fact, we on our investigations, we get strange stuff like that too.
That's right.
Yeah, but you can find all his. You can find all the experiments and all his writings in the Journal of American Society for Psychic Research. But there was a downer for this thing here. Not only did he try to capture ghosts, he believed to be a medium, but he also tried to catch zombies too. So he was ahead of a time.
Whatever floats your boats, what I say.
But in 1949, there was an Italian guy.
That's right. His name was Marcello Bacci. Now, he recorded voices with an old tube or valve radio. Now, that's kind of like our radios today, except they use valves or tubes to pick up the signal and amplify it, where we use transistors today. Now, what I liked about Bacci is he did his experiments under controlled conditions using the scientific method for that time. Now, what I also liked about him, Wally, is you can probably say a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, he accepted no money for his work. And when he got a little bit of fame, too, because a lot of people would come to him who recently had their loved ones pass away, and he would try to communicate with them.
That's right. And, the fact that I liked also what you said is that he didn't like any money or publicity, but I liked because he wanted to go out and team up with other scientists to prove the credibility of his results. It was that important to him.
So he teamed up with other scientists then?
That's right. In fact, they had these experiments to try to prove his results to be accurate and true. And one of the most amazing ones was when they had the valve radio, they took off the valves. And each time you take a valve off, it lessens the ability of the radio to get broadcast.
So you're actually ripping off the antenna on this thing.
Well, in a sense, if you want to look at it that way. Each time they pulled off one of the valves, they still got the voices. And at some point, they had all the valves off the radio, and they were still getting voices. But you know what?
It's amazing.
You know what's even more amazing than that?
What's that?
Is they decided to turn off the radio and see if the voices would continue. And guess what?
They got the voices.
They sure did. Now,
wow.
That's amazing if you ask me.
But there's a lot more people. We just talked about scientists,
That's
right? Now we're going to talk about religious people who are like in Roman Catholic. There's a priest now.
Yeah, but don't let that fool you. These guys are smart, okay?
Oh.
Father Ernetti and Gemelli. Now, Father Ernetti had a degree in quantum physics.
Quantum physics.
That's pretty amazing.
Wow.
Now, these guys are out trying to record Gregorian chants on a magnetic phone or magnetophone, which is just a fancy name for a reel-to-reel tape recorder. So don't let it fool you.
Okay.
Now, the problem with this thing is it kept breaking, and that kind of upset Gemelli. So in a fit of frustration, he looked up and asked for his father's help, and he says, why can't you help me? Kind of like what your wife does when you come home late and you've been out with the buddies. Anyways, what was amazing is when we went back and they replayed their tape, and what did they hear?
Of course, I shall help you.
And that's right, and that was the voice of Father Gemelli's father. Now, that was pretty amazing because what that did is it made the little brain, or I shouldn't say little, the amazing brain of Father Ernetti started to wonder what happens to all the sights and sounds humans make. Does it just dissipate into the environment, or are there certain conditions where it gets absorbed into the environment, and then later that's released maybe somehow? And is there a machine that can actually pick up those?
It sounds a little bit like residual hauntings.
Exactly. Same idea. You have the residual haunting, but where does that come from? Well, it must be the environment. Something in the environment is tape recording. I guess tape recording it. I mean, I don't know what it is, but somehow it's there, and all you need is a device to pick it up, reconstruct it, and see it. And that was his idea.
The chronovisor,
That's right. He called it the chronovisor.
I knew it. I got that.
That's right. And the theory behind it was that the luminous energy and sound that objects emanate are recorded in their environment, allowing the chronovisor to reconstruct from said energy the images and sounds of a specific set of events in the past. Now that's amazing because
you're telling me
the power that machine could hold.
So he got this actual device, put it in a place that's supposed to be haunted or had a lot of history behind it, and you would actually see the past played over and over again.
And in fact, he said he saw what was considered a lost tragedy of Thyestes that occurred back in Rome in 169 BC, and even further stated that he saw Christ dying on the cross. Now, whether those are true or not, it's hard to say, because on his deathbed, he was forced to recant the whole chronovisor idea. Now, why that was, I don't know, because the device itself also disappeared.
Wow, so not only did he have to, say that nothing of that device never really happened, but the evidence that he caught, he was not allowed to speak about that.
Which is very interesting. And what makes it a little more legitimate in my sense is that he teamed up with a couple amazing scientists at the time. And one of them was named Enrico Fermi. And we all know him as the father of the what?
Atomic bomb.
There you go. But he also teamed up with Werner von Braun.
The rocket guy.
That's right. In fact, you can call him the rocket scientist. So you got to kind of wonder, what happened to that chronovisor? Was it real? Where did it go if it was real? It's something that maybe we want to investigate at another time.
I think we should. I believe he also came out with a book, too, called the Chronovisor book.
It was called Father Ernetti's Chronovisor. Pretty simplistic, but, it's a book I think I need to read. And I probably suggest viewers to do so as well.
One of my favorites now is Frederick Jurgensen, 1959. This guy did everything. He was a bird watcher. He was a painter. I love this one. An opera singer, okay?
Yeah, and I even heard people say he used to throw bricks in the ocean. Oh, no, that was my drafting teacher.